Hey everyone, if you're just hanging out and don't know what to play on your phone, don't worry, I've got some insane games to save you from boredom. There's something for every taste, RPG, action RPG, so sit back, free up some space on your phone, and let's dive in. Let's kick things off with one I'm sure you don't know, Dragon Quest Builders. If you're into building, exploring, and even taking a few swings at monsters, this game mixes Minecraft with RPG and is addictive in a way only Square Enix can pull off. In the game, you play as a legendary builder, the only human left who remembers how to craft things. Yep, everyone forgot how to build, go figure. The goal is to rebuild the world and protect villages from monsters trying to destroy everything. It really gives off a Minecraft vibe with more of an RPG twist, and I'd say it's an endless sandbox that's definitely worth checking out. A hidden turn-based RPG on your Play Store with a stunning open world and an anime vibe. Let's talk about ASTRIS. The game was made by the same creators of Arknights, so you know it's going to be top-notch, right? In ASTRIS, you explore a strange planet filled with bizarre creatures and hidden secrets, all while battling in a super stylish combat system. I mentioned it's a turn-based RPG, but honestly, it's a bit different. It's not exactly a traditional turn-based RPG. It's something unique and innovative, almost hard to describe. On top of that, the exploration is gorgeous. You move around in a highly detailed 3D map, investigating ruins, chatting with NPCs, and solving puzzles. It's all wrapped up in a mysterious atmosphere that really pulls you into the story. Since this game isn't super well known, why do you think that is? Ever since a friend of mine told me that this game is basically a copy of Zelda, I just can't shake it from my mind. Let's talk about Blossom Tales 2. Blossom Tales 2 is a 2D action RPG where you play as Lily, a knight on an epic quest to rescue her brother who's been kidnapped by the Minotaur King. The game has that gorgeous retro pixel art style packed with dungeons, puzzles, and enemies to defeat. Honestly, I'm not too fond of this style of game, especially the gameplay. I always end up getting a bit lost, but I'll admit it's really well made. If you love classic Zelda style games, Hyper Light Drifter, or Tunic, then Blossom Tales 2 is a perfect choice. It's got an immersive world, charming characters, and that vibe where you can explore for hours without getting bored. It's definitely worth checking out. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe this game is more of a simulation, but I'm putting it here under RPG. Let's talk about ARCANE VALE. ARCANE VALE is an open-world RPG with survival, exploration, and farming elements. You play as an adventurer tasked with finding a long-lost treasure, but along the way you end up creating your own story, whether it's exploring dungeons, fishing, or even running your own farm. The game does a great job blending these two elements, focusing on RPG, where you need to level up your character while also managing your farm and battling wild monsters. If you love games like Stardew Valley, Rune Factory, or even Terraria, you'll totally enjoy ARCANE VALE. It's got a perfect mix of adventure, exploration, and simulation that'll have you losing track of time. I was one of those people who underestimated this game just because of its graphics, but now I regret it. Let's talk about Exiled Kingdoms. Exiled Kingdoms is an action RPG with an isometric view where you create your character and venture out into the world to complete quests, fight monsters, and uncover the secrets of a ruined kingdom. It's got a very old school feel, kind of like those classic RPGs in the style of Diablo, Baldur's Gate, and Icewind Dale. So if you're into that kind of game, you should definitely pay attention because this one has a lot to offer. There's no easy ride here. The game throws you into a brutal open world filled with enemies, NPCs with their own stories, and choices that really impact the gameplay. That was one of my struggles. I found the game extremely hard, but if you love old school RPGs, is definitely a solid choice. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I consider this the best offline turn-based RPG on the Play Store. Let's talk about Battle Chasers. Battle Chasers is an RPG inspired by classic turn-based games but with stunning graphics and a bit of a dark fantasy meets steampunk vibe. The game is based on a famous 90s comic book and delivers a world full of dangers, treasures, and epic battles. You control a group of heroes who get stranded on a mysterious island and must face bizarre creatures. One gameplay feature that really stood out to me is the fact that you can build your squad using both NPCs and monsters you defeat along the way. If you're into classic JRPGs, well-crafted combat, and jaw-dropping graphics, Battle Chasers Nightware is a must-play. A lot of people missed the launch of this game because it's kind of hidden on the Play Store. Let's talk about Arcane Quest Legends 2. The game blends a lot of interesting elements, putting you in the role of a hero who's been killed but then has the brilliant idea of making a pact with death to come back to life. All he has to do is collect and reap some lost souls along the way. This takes him through various timelines, medieval, futuristic, but the goal of the game remains pretty much the same. The gameplay changes a bit depending on what time period you're in, which keeps things fresh. The gameplay is really fun and there are a ton of classes and abilities you can add to your character just like any RPG should be. I just love games that mix elements, especially RPGs like this one. Let's talk about MARENIAN Tavern Story. This is a super casual and relaxing RPG where you manage a tavern, but in a way you've never seen before. Here, you don't just cook amazing dishes, you also explore the world, fight monsters, and gather ingredients to create more and more elaborate recipes. In the story, you control Patty, a girl who lost everything after her family went into debt. Now, she needs to start over by running a tavern and cooking delicious dishes to attract customers and pay off the debt. The turn-based RPG gameplay is really fun and the character progression is solid, but this is a different kind of RPG. This game literally came back from the dead. It was released in 2014, updated, and now works on all types of Android devices. Let's talk about Crimson Heart 2. Crimson Heart 2 is an action RPG with beautiful 2D graphics and a dark fantasy vibe that reminds me of classic console games. The story is full of intrigue and conspiracy with warring kingdoms and dark forces threatening humanity. You'll need to form a team of heroes, upgrade your gear, and face increasingly difficult challenges. I love this game because it reminds me of Xenonia, which I also adore. It works almost the same way, and you could say this style of RPG on Android has become a classic. Crimson Heart 2 is a game you need to try. It has that well-made indie game feel and delivers a complete experience on mobile. Maybe you've already picked up on the reference from the name, but yes, if you love Pokemon, you're going to adore this game. Let's talk about COROMON. COROMON is an RPG where you roam the world capturing, training, and battling with fantastic creatures. It's very similar to the classic monster catching games, but with beautiful graphics, deep mechanics, and a story that hooks you from start to finish. I could go on about the game's story and how well crafted it is, but honestly, just like Pokemon, the main goal is to catch as many COROMON as possible, evolve them, and defeat the villains around the city. The gameplay is very similar, but I'd say COROMON is such a well-made take on the Pokemon formula. It's even better than some of the poorly made Pokemon games from Nintendo. You might think this game is just another Pokemon copy, but once you understand it, you'll realize it's more of a parody. Let's talk about Cassette Beasts. Cassette Beasts is an RPG where you capture, train, and battle with monsters in a super colorful world, but with a twist. Instead of Pokeballs or anything like that, you use cassette tapes to capture the creatures. Plus, it has a monster fusion system that gives the game a unique vibe. You'll explore the island of New Wirral, where a mysterious event caused people and monsters to become linked to these cassette tapes. It's almost like a blend of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, and cassettes. Yes, all of that mixed together, and it's actually incredibly well done. If you love this style and want something different, this is a solid choice. There are a few action and RPG games for Android that truly capture that old school vibe, but this is another game that has risen from the ashes. Let's talk about Dawn Break. The story revolves around a war between gods and the forces of evil, with a world on the brink of destruction. As the hero, you'll be thrown into an epic battle to prevent it from happening. Dawn Break is an action RPG that blends hack and slash combat, exploration, and a story full of mystery and magic. You take on the role of epic heroes, each with their own unique abilities, and you'll need to defeat powerful monsters. I really enjoyed the combat in this game, no doubt. It's super fun to play, and of course the focus on anime characters and their unique weapons is what makes this game stand out. That's why it's so good. We've talked about all kinds of RPGs in this list, but I think there's one that really fits the name of the game, GRIMGUARD Tactics. The story is set in a world threatened by demonic creatures and dark forces. As the leader of a group of warriors, you'll need to make tough decisions, plan every move, and ensure your team's survival as you explore mysterious lands and face deadly enemies. I really enjoy this more tactical style of game where strategy is key. What I particularly love about this game is its difficulty. Unlike many mobile games, this one can truly be considered a classic no fluff, just pure challenging gameplay. If you're into tactical RPGs that demand careful planning and strategic decisions, GRIMGUARD Tactics is sure to win you over. I have to admit, this game really surprised me. When I decided to test it in 2025, I didn't expect it to be this good. Let's talk about Hero's Adventure. Hero's Adventure is an action RPG with a touch of classic adventure where you control a hero in search of glory, treasures, and lots of combat. The game mixes open world exploration with dynamic battles where you can level up your character and customize your abilities to take on the most powerful enemies. This game is so incredibly well made that it's tough to talk about in a short video like this, but it amazed me with how many features it offers, even though it seems so simple at first. If you're a fan of action RPGs with dynamic combat, exploration, and constant progression, then Hero's Adventure is the right choice for you. The lost cousin of Minecraft has arrived on your Play Store and you probably didn't even notice. Let's talk about a game I love called TERAVIT. The game takes place in a world called TERAVIT, where dark forces threaten peace and brave heroes must be gathered to face this evil. The story unfolds as you complete missions and uncover the secrets of this ravaged land. You could say that the game blends the cool mix of sandbox simulation and RPG. While you need to level up and explore the world with your sword, you also need to build your house and be very careful not to let your character die from hunger or thirst, for example. The game is really well made and some even say it's a copy of Genshin Impact mixed with Minecraft. Alright folks, we've reached the end of another video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss out on any of the action. And of course, drop a comment below telling me which game caught your eye the most. I love hearing what you think. Got any game suggestions? Throw them in the comments, I'm all ears. Catch you in the next one, friends. Take care and remember to enjoy the moment, alright? We're in this together, eh?